beautiful family. It's Kim Love Jones here, certified agains. Okay, we starting this off all crazy to begin with. Listen, I wanted to tell you right off the rip that if you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay. That's really important to me. I want to know who's watching, and I also want to know where you watching from because that's important to me. I apologize for being a little late today. I'm excited to jump on today, and I wanted to talk about this. Whatever is not transformed is being transferred. And I know that a lot of people believe in their heart of hearts. Let me just share this into my group. I'm gonna share this into my group. hmm Yeah, I know that. Uh oh. Let me cut. Yeah, what is going on with my computer? It looks like it's running slow, and I have no idea why it's running slow. Um, yeah, for some reason it just seems like it's a little off kilter. But I wanted to talk about this whole situation um concerning transference and countertransference, right? And I wanted to talk about this today around your healing. um when I look at couples that are in relationships, people who just meet each other and they're struggling with the relationship and where they should be, part of it is that we haven't healed properly, right? So I want to talk about this, and I want to just set the stage, if you will, right? When we experience pain, disappointment, betrayal, trauma, whatever it is, if we don't heal it, process it, and transform it, guess what? We end up transferring that same pain to other people, our children, our friends, our partners, and even ourselves. You might think you're moving on, but if you haven't truly done the work to heal, you're just carrying the wound into the next season of your life, the next relationship, the next opportunity, and eventually it leaks out through anger, mistrust, sabotage, or shutting down. I have been in relationship, and I don't mean in a romantic relationship, but I've been in relationships with some of my friends, my girlfriends, and what I notice is that based on what's been happening in their lives, right? They literally begin to transfer that pain. You can hear it. You could hear it in the conversations. You could hear it in the dialogue, right? Um, every time I'm around them, or me and them are having a conversation or whatever's happening, you can hear their pain. And people don't realize that even as they're speaking a thing, even as they're talking about it and they're reliving what has happened to them, they literally transfer that over into our relationship. And I'm just talking about girlfriends. I'm not talking about a romantic relationship. We transfer our pain when we do not deal with it, when we do not heal it. We transfer pain to our partners, right? I remember when I was going through my separation and then my divorce, right? I realized that I wasn't being the greatest mom at that particular juncture in my life. Not that I'm that great of a mom. I don't think that I should get an award for doing what it is that I do, right? I wasn't always being my best self because I was hurting. And that hurt literally transferred over to my children because of the way that I showed up for them, right? That's why it's important to make sure that whoever you get into relationship with, whoever you're dealing with, they don't, you're in relationship with people who do not want to tear you down, hurt you, whatever. Now we can't, get around that because sometimes life is just life and we make poor choices. We end up on the other side of that thing, broken and hurting and trying to figure out why. And everyone around us suffers. Everyone around us suffers. our friends, our family, our children, sometimes even coworkers, right? Because as we are working on becoming our better selves, or we're working through our healing, we see the damage that was done after we work through our healing, right? So, one of the key things for me, anyway, one of the key things for me is I realized that even my friends, my sister friends, my guy friends, I hear the pain when I'm talking to them, right? And so I know that I did it, and I know that I've done the body of work to begin my healing process. And so a lot of times that's why I stopped talking about the 7 steps to meeting the love, your soulmate and all of this other stuff, because I realized that we're not going to meet who we really want to meet until we work through who we are and how we want to show up and work on our healing. That is important, right? And so it's important to not just talk the talk, but to actually walk the walk, because people feel your energy. I remember talking to a good girlfriend of mine, and every time I spoke to her, she was angry. And I couldn't figure out why she was so angry. And I would always try to encourage her to, to change her mindset and stop worrying about different things that were going on. Because it's only while you're around me and you're telling me, or we're on the phone and you're telling me what you're angry about and what you're upset about, you are literally transferring that into my spirit. And I don't need that in my life. Right. And I would never tell her that. I just sometimes would uh, stay on the phone with her a little bit less. Because while I love her and I want to see her happy and I want to see things working out in her, there is a such thing as transference and then counter transference. I don't know if you've ever noticed. I see you watching. Say hello. Say hello. I don't know if you've ever noticed that you could be on the phone with your friends, especially in your youth, and whatever they were telling you, it would penetrate your lifestyle. I remember couples saying, "Well, stop telling me what happened in somebody else's relationship. You angry about that. Why is that a problem?" And then you begin to take that out on your partner. Now that I know people don't do that consciously, but unconsciously, subconsciously, you do that, because that is the last thing you heard. You hear about what's going on in your girlfriend's life, and then all of a sudden you be like, these men ain't da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? And for guys do it too. They sit in the barbershop and talk about, thoughts, right? And then they think all women are like that, and all women are not like that, but they feed each other stories. And so that's why we have to work on being transformed in our minds, right? It doesn't make any sense to continue to walk this thing out, to do life, to do whatever it is that you're doing, if you're going to allow everything to hurt you, everything to bother you, and you're not using, the correct mindset to recalibrate your own self, right? Because enough is enough, really. When I think about it, we all should be just a little bit tired of going through the same things over and over and over again and expecting a different result. It doesn't work like that. It does not work like that, right? If you don't confront your pain, it will eventually become like a part of your personality without you even realizing it. You begin to become guarded, suspicious of everybody. It'll feel normal to you, but it's really not normal. It's pain leading to your leading in your life, right? It's leading. So when we allow what happened outside of us to control how we're going to do things, we literally allowing our pain to lead us, and can't figure out why we can't meet the person that we truly want to be with, because we're allowing pain to lead. And we shouldn't allow pain to lead us, right? If you want to transform your life, you have to be intentional about transforming your life. You have to be careful and cognizant of the words that you speak. Healing doesn't just happen because time passed. It happens because you decided to deal with your stuff, right? And all of us should make a conscious decision to deal with what we're going through. In order to be transformed, you have to be intentional. You have to be. It's choosing to sit with the uncomfortableness, facing the truth, choosing better, and even when it's hard, right? You have to make a conscious choice that even when it's hard, I need to do this. And I know a lot of people don't want to do that. That's where I lose people in the turn. They're like, Kim, I'm good. I'm good. No, I'm good, Kim. No, I'm good. And they may not say those words, but their actions speak those words. Their actions literally speak those words. But you have to want to be, I'm sorry, you have to be intentional in order to change your life. So I was talking to someone over the weekend, had a wonderful conversation, and it was really, really good conversation, actually. It was dope. But one of the things that I realized that was happening in them was that they were choosing to be in relationship with people who did not honor them, with people who did not align with them. And the question I have after doing all of this listening, the question I had is why? Why are you allowing this? That's the question I got. That's the question I will always have. I will always have the question of why are you there? Why are you there? Because transfer happens unconsciously. People transfer their crap onto you unconsciously. You, with unhealed trauma, don't even realize that that's affecting how you show up, how you live, how you do the things that you do. And most people don't wake up and say, I'm going to project my unhealed trauma onto my partner today. It's unconscious. That's why awareness is key. Healing starts with noticing how you show up, right? That's like really important. And to be honest with you, healing is the ultimate act of love. If you want to be in a great relationship, and even if you're already in a relationship, right? I'm not even talking about getting into one. If you're already in one, right? When you say, I want to heal and I want to get better for me first, and then I want to be better for my partner, right? It changes everything. It absolutely changes everything. When you begin to work on who you are, that's love for the sake of yourself and for the sake of the relationship. Loving yourself enough to heal is how you stop transferring pain. It's how you build a healthier relationship, raise emotionally healthy kids, and show up as your highest, truest self. Right? So this is why all of this is important. Hey, Kim, I see you. Turn the light on. Yes. 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 Turn the light on. Right? Here's some questions I want you to reflect on. I want you to ask yourself today, what pain have been carrying and have I never really healed? Hey, Cynthia. Hey, Charmaine. Ask yourself those questions. What pain have I been carrying that I've never really healed? You know, some people feel like they don't. The one thing I always say, let me just say this. The one thing I always say is we can't see ourselves. It takes somebody in our lives with enough courage to tell us who we are, what we're doing, and how we show up. Because sometimes we gotta like question ourselves. Like, am I wrong for feeling this way? And if you have somebody that you know loves you, you can call them and say, you know, listen, I want to run this by you. And not somebody who's gonna be giving you crazy advice. You need somebody that's solid in who they are. Let me just keep it real. You know, hey baby, I love my Charmaine boy, and that is my hairstylist extraordinaire, honey. I love you, sister. I love you. Hey G, I see you, my love. I see you. Yes. So it's where am I seeing patterns that I don't want to repeat? Because there are always patterns of behavior that are very telling, right? So when you begin to ask yourself some of these questions, you know, and these are really good questions to ask yourself these questions. Who or what might be receiving my unhealed hurt right now? When we don't deal with, hey Thomas, I see you. How are you? Who or what might be receiving my unhealed hurt right now? Can I tell y'all something? Quick story. You know why I go to Charmaine Bourne to get my hair done? Let me tell you why. And you gotta, if you don't know her, you're in the New York State, tri-state area. I mean, people fly from other states to come in to get their hair done by her. That's how dope she is. But let me just tell you this, and y'all need to follow her so y'all can see her before and after pictures. Don't try to friend request her. I think she up to 5,000 friends. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But check her out because she's amazing. But you know why I let her touch my hair? Because your hair is a sacred place. It's like when you go to a barber, you don't want everybody touching your crown. And the reason why I love her, first of all, I love her because we've been friends for a very long time. But I'm not trying to talk about that as much as I'm trying to talk about someone who is actively and always open to change, that's always open and understanding of who she is, that's always working on being a better version of herself. I need y'all to come with me. Charmaine says, shaking my head. So, like, you want the person who's in your head, and I'm being honest, to be consciously aware, self-aware of who they are. So when she pours, not only is it that when she's doing your hair, she is literally pouring into you all of this goodness that's in her because of her transformative journey in her own life. So if you go to somebody that's angry and you let them touch your crown, I need for y'all to hear me on this because this is utterly important. They are touching your crown, your mind, your brain, your head. You need people that are going to speak life to you, right? That are going to encourage and support you on whatever journey that you're on. It is vitally important that the people that you are around speak life to you, right? And so a lot of times, and I'm not saying anybody's completely and totally healed, we all have our stuff. So I want to be clear about that. But I'm telling you that when you have these phone conversations or you go to lunches or dinners with your girlfriends, they all need to be in alignment with who you are. And if they are not in alignment with where you want to go or where you are currently, then you should not be spending a whole bunch of time, because you have to want your life to be transformed, because whatever you're not transforming about yourself, you are transferring to the people that are around you, your children, your grandchildren, your siblings, girlfriends, guy friends, and then your romantic partner. So what would your life look like if you chose to transform your life instead of transfer the hurt, the pain, the the frustration that you feel? What would your life look like? So those are some questions that you have to ask yourself, and then be intentional about moving towards the things that we want for our lives and for our relationships. Because we want to show up, and I don't care what anybody says, you always want to show up as your best self. And what I notice is we will give people at work, and we will give people, in the grocery store and whatever store we go shopping in, the better parts of ourselves. And then when we get home, our kids get the beat down. Our, spouses are disrespected. The people that you know what I'm saying? So when you come home, I'm talking about creating an environment that is in alignment with who you are, where you are, and what it is that you want to do for your life, right? What would it look like if you made a conscious decision? And I said this the other day on out in them TikTok streets. I said this the other day. What would your life look like if you just made the decision that you want your life to change, that you want to render different for all of those that are around you? Can I just tell y'all something? I'm having a workshop on May the 10th. And it's all about healing and transformation and the shoulders that we stand on. It's the day before Mother's Day, so it's going to be a dope situation. I really wish that you will buy your ticket. In fact, tickets are selling out. So I really need y'all and want y'all support in this. And I want you to come up and have a good little lunch and let us enjoy one another and do our thing. But it's important to understand, like, where you come from. And even if our parents weren't perfect, they did the best that they could, because we're celebrating you, and we're also celebrating our moms, and we are celebrating who we are and how we show up. And the fact that we're all going to be in the room suggests to me that there are some things that we are all being intentional about working on. So that's what I wanted to, get to today, because it's going to be dope. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. I'm excited. If anything that I said today to you resonated with you, I want you to understand this. You have the power, you're one decision away, to break the cycle. You don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to bleed on people who didn't cut you. If you're ready to work and transform and not transfer, stay connected with me. I'm going to be over the next week or two, maybe even three. I think I think I'm going to rock out until the month of May. I'm trying to get on Facebook every day, Monday through Friday. Even if I have to do like an hour here, but because I've been in them TikTok streets and I love it over there. I'll be on there every day. Almost every day I'm over there, But if you are committed to wanting change, I want you to type ready in the comment section, because I believe that working on your healing intentionally will change your entire life. I really believe that. I want us to break cycles. And I know most of my friends be like, oh, Kim, I got this. I'm Gucci. I'm fine. I'm like, some of them, I'll be looking at them like, sometimes I don't say nothing, because everybody can't receive everything. And I got to use wisdom, and I can't say everything I think I want to say to people. Right. But sometimes I'm like, you ain't ready. And they don't even know they're not ready. And I love them. And I know love corrects. But if you're not going to receive it, sometimes you have to make the decision first. I want to change my life. Like, there's women that I know that, like, Kim, ain't no men out here. And I'll be like, no, sis, there's men all around you. There's men all around you. How do you treat them when they come? Are you abrasive? I ask questions. I'm not trying to tell you what you are. I'm just trying to ask you to do a little introspection. Because I don't want to hit you in the head with a bat. Like, I really don't. Can I be honest? I really, really don't want to hit you in the head with a bat. I don't want to do it. I want you to discover you one step at a time, one layer at a time. But you have to be intentional about what it is that you want and need for your life. And I can't convince somebody to go to the water and go drink it. You got to know that you're thirsty and that you need some water to heal your own soul, right? I don't want to bleed on anybody. I want to be transformed by the renewing of my mind, right? Because I know who I used to be. I know what I used to do. And it was ugly. And I didn't even realize, y'all, to be honest, if I could be honest, I didn't even realize how ugly I was. How my attitude was affecting everybody around me. How my pain was causing me to behave a certain way. I didn't realize it, y'all. And now that I've been doing this body of work, it doesn't mean I don't need help or I don't continue on in my journey, because I do. I continue to work on myself daily. But the idea behind all of that is I am intentional about wanting to be on this journey. And I actually feel good when when I'm operating in what I am called to operate in, when I am operating at a better version of myself. I feel better about how I show up all the time. Like, when I could have told somebody off and I didn't, I'm like, girl, you did that. Patting myself on the back. You did that. Because I know what you're capable of, but you're trying to get better. You know, because they was out of pocket, but you didn't go there. I feel better. I am not letting how I show up. I'm not going to let anybody knock me off my square. I'm not letting anybody cause me to act outside of myself and what I choose intentionally for my life. So yes, I hope you all can join me. I'm going to be live on TikTok at 6:30 tonight. It is going all the way down. I hope y'all can join me. It's going to be amazing. I don't know what I'm talking about yet, but it's so amazing. It's just it's amazing. It really, really is. I hope y'all can join me. I hope y'all can join me for my workshop on May the 10th. The link for the workshop is somewhere on my Facebook page. So y'all can click on the link, buy tickets, come out, support. Let's have a good time and let's eat some food. Y'all have an awesome and amazing day. I love y'all like I love cooked food. Y'all have a good one, okay? All right. Y'all be blessed.